Hey guys, this is Chris from Prima Software, and this is a quick reference guide on sales orders and sales quotes. So we're going to show you how to create a sales order, how to delete a sales order, how to add and delete items off the sales order, as well as how to change all the details about the sales order, and some extra tools that'll make your life a little bit easier. And then we'll cover all the same things with the sales quotes as well. So how it works is the sales quote comes before the sales order. The sales quote is an optional first step if your customer prefers to have a formal quote made before they authorize any orders. But yeah, so the sales order is the part that's required. The quote is an optional first step. So we'll go ahead and get started with a quote anyways. So to create a new quote, it's going to be under new record and then sales quotation down here. If you prefer to skip the sales quote, you can create a sales order instead. But we'll go ahead and start with the quote here. This is going to be searching for the customer you want to create the quote for. So you can search for the account code or the customer name. Or in the multi-search here, you can search for things like phone numbers, emails, or like contact names. Anything else you might remember about the company if you don't know the company name or account code. But I have a company name right here. We have fake company. So you're going to go ahead and search for the company and select it. And once that's done, you can choose the shipping location in the drop down at the bottom here, whatever you have on file, or you can change the contact person as well. Once that's set, you just hit create. So this is the sales quote. The first thing you might want to do is check the customer reference. Most people put like the customer's PO number or the customer's name or something else in here. This is just a blank field where you can put anything in here. So let's put the customer's PO, for example. You can also put an order source. This will be where the quote is coming from. So if the customer emailed you or called you on the phone or maybe placed it over the web, you can choose that just so it's categorized. And then you can also change the delivery type. So if you want to drop ship this order to the customer or you want to ship it to yourselves as wrap and pack, whatever you want to choose. Choose wrap and pack for now. If you want to change the shipping address, you can click on this address button right here. That's going to allow you to switch between the shipping addresses in the drop down right here. Or you can create a new address if you want to right here. Click on that, it'll blank everything out, and you can type in a new address. But I'll just hit cancel here. Same thing with the contact. So you can click on this contact button. It'll go ahead and open up the details of the contact person. You can change like the phone number or the email or anything like that. But if you want to switch the contact person, there's a little drop down right here. You can switch between them. Cool. But once that's set, first thing to do is to add some items to the order. That's going to be done down here in the bottom left. So you have a short box right here, and then you have a long box here. So the short box is going to be searching for the item number, and the longer box is for searching for the item description. So for example, we'll type in UNV 21200. You're usually going to want to put the 3-letter manufacturer code before the item number every time. That'll help it search a little bit easier. So once you type in the item number, you can click on the search button or you can hit the enter key. It'll go ahead and fill in all the information. That's how you know it's selected the right one. And then from here, you can change the quantity, you can change the sell price, or you can change the cost. But these should be just whatever is defaulted for this particular customer and whatever vendor you're defaulted to buy from in the first place. If you do want to change that vendor, There's a drop down right here that'll let you pick which supplier you're going to buy from if you already know that in advance. If you choose one of the bigger ones like Ascendant or SP, it'll tell you in here as well the cost is $75, which you already see, and the Ascendant stock level is 3,000 for this item. So you can check and see the stock levels of this item before you select which vendor it is. You can change the description down here at the bottom if you want to change that. Or if the item has different pack sizes, like this item has a carton of 10 or an each, you can choose between the two by clicking right here. But once all that's set, you can go ahead and hit the save button right here, and it'll go ahead and add it to the order. Same thing if you're searching for an item. So like an item description, I mean. So we can type in red pen here in the longer box, and we hit enter. It'll bring up a list of items with red pen in the description. From here, since there's a lot of options, what I might do is click on the available column header up here, and then click on it one more time, and it'll go ahead and order by what's available, what I have available in stock. So it looks like I have 99 of this item in stock. I'll go ahead and select that. To do that, you can just double click on the item you want. There we go. I'll go ahead and add it to the order. To go ahead and quickly add more items, what I might suggest is using the tab key and the enter key. So to do it a little bit faster, you can type in the item number. You can hit enter, and then it'll automatically select the quantity. So you can just type in the quantity, and then you can do tab to change the sale price, tab again to change the cost, tab one more time to select save, and then hit the enter key. So it's pretty easy just to go type in the item number, enter, tab, 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 enter. And then I'll go ahead and add the item. Cool. But once you have all your items set up, if you want to change any details about the item, you can double click on whichever you want to change. And that'll jump you to the line tab, which is here at the very top. We were originally in the summary tab, but double clicking on an item will bring you to the line tab. And that'll bring you all the information about this one particular item. And so this is where you're able to change the description again, change the quantity. You can change the sell price or the cost if you need to again. What's pretty handy on here is the cost margin calculator. So if you wanted to change it to, let's say, a 35% margin, you can type in 35 in your little margin calculator down here, and then hit calculate. And we'll go ahead and change the price to fit a 30% margin based on whatever your cost is here. So that's pretty neat. You can do the same thing with a discount off of list price. So RRP is, I think, a retail price. That'll be your list. And then we'll just go ahead and hit the save button up at the top to go ahead and save our changes. And then we can go back to the summary tab and do the same thing with any of the other items we need. And then once your items are all set, it would be good to check the header detail tab here. And this will be the all the information on this particular order, or in this case, a quote. So you can type in the customer reference again up here. This will be your customer PO number or something. You can change the salesperson if you want to assign this quote to yourself or to someone else. You can change the address again, the delivery method again, all that kind of settings are going to be in here as well. And then once you're ready to go ahead and send out the quote to the customer, you can go to the report tab, which is here at the end. You can click on view report if you want to view what the report looks like. You can print it out, you can email it to the customer, or you can save it as a PDF. There's a drop down here for different report types. So you just have the standard sales quote, or you have one with images of the products on it, or a whole bunch of different customizable ones that you can kind of form fit to particular customers and how they want it. So I might recommend emailing it. What you can do is click on the email report button. It'll come up with an email form where it'll go ahead and attach the quote as a PDF onto the email. And then if the contact has an email address, it would put it in the send to area here. You can CC and BCC whoever you want. You can go ahead and add in a message on your email, all that kind of stuff. And then just hit send when you're ready. So once the customer comes back and approves of the quote, they're ready to go. What you want to do is hit the complete button up here. Only when the customer approves of this quote is when you want to hit complete, because that's going to go ahead and change it into a sales order. But in this case, I got an error saying compulsory order sources are set, which means it's telling me I have to pick something in this order source dropdown right here. It wants me to go ahead and categorize it. So I'll say this came from the internet and make sure I hit the save button, and then we'll do it again. Cool. So now it is a completed quote, which means it'll automatically create the sales order for you. And so if you look at the very bottom of the window, there's a new button down here that says order 28489. That's the sales order that was automatically created once I completed this quote. And so every quote will automatically change into a sales order once you complete it. If we click on this little link here, it'll bring us to that sales order. And the sales order pretty much works the exact same as the quote. It has all the same functionality, all the same buttons, all the same tools, pretty much the same thing. But the sales order is where all of your invoices and purchase orders and everything will be linked centrally to this one sales order number. So this is what we'll need to go ahead and continue. So once the sales order is authorized, now is your chance to go ahead and change anything about the order. So for example, if you want to change the prices or if you want to delete an item, to do that, you can click on the item that you want to delete and then hit the trash can button up top, which is next to all the save buttons. It'll say, are you sure? You'll say yes, and that'll delete the item. A couple additional things about the sales order is that you can take credit card payments. So if we go to the header detail tab, look down here at the bottom, there's going to be a take payment button, and that'll allow you to take the customer's credit card number and pay for this order in advance. You can also take a deposit if you prefer. So you can take a percentage or a value. So if you wanted to take a 10% deposit, you can type in 10% here, or you can change it to value and say they have to pay $250 value instead, something like that. And then you would click on take deposit, and that'll allow you to create an invoice just for that amount, and then invoice the remaining amount once delivery happens or whatever you're set up to do. Cool. And so before we move on, a couple extra tips, a couple extra tools at the bottom here will help you out. You have stock check right here, and that will check your vendor stock levels. It'll check SP and Ascendant stock levels of the items that you have on order. So you can see, maybe if Ascendant is out of this one, you can swap it to an alternative item, something like that. The quote, it'll link you to the quote number that we already were working on, just in case you need to reference that for any reason. You have the customer's history down here as well. So if you want to see the last time the customer ordered a particular item, what price they paid for that item, what quantity they ordered at, all that kind of information is in this history item here. You have a copy order button, and that'll allow you to copy some sales orders, or copy this sales order, I should say. That's most useful if customer ordered something and they said, I want to order the same thing that I did last month. You could find last month's order and just click on copy order. It'll make an exact duplicate of this order. And then, some other ones we can skip. They're not too important. You have create quote right here. That'll allow you to just create another quote. So this is a good example of if you started with a sales order, but the customer wants a formal quote instead, you can just click on quote and it'll create a brand new quote with everything on the order as well. But that is about it as far as the sales order goes. Once you're ready to move forward, you want to click on the authorize button up top, and that'll move it to the next stage. It'll check the stock of the items and decide whether it needs to purchase it or not. You have the confirm button, which is just kind of like an intermediary status. That'll allow you to go ahead and mark this item as a needs review rather than push it through automatically. Or you can click on archive and that'll just delete the whole order. So if you need to delete the order, it's archive. If you want to push it through, we'll go ahead and click on authorize. And now the status is requested. You can see that the status of each item is requested as well, which means we need to purchase these items. All right, that's a quick reference guide on sales orders and sales quotes. Before we go, actually, I did forget. What if we need to find this quote if we closed it? So we're back in Prima and we want to find the order we were just working on. To find that, you're going to go to SOP and then click on orders if you're looking for orders, or quotes if you're looking for the quotes. We'll click on orders in this case. And here's where you're going to search for existing sales orders that were already created. So to find the one we were working on, you can search for the customer's name or the account code up here. You can search for the status of the order. You can look for who's created by. So I could select any order created by me, for example. Or if you know the sales order number, you can type it in right here. Or you can click on this red bar up top. It'll open up a whole bunch more filters. So you can search for, a particular item code, or you can search for business groups or zip codes or a whole bunch of stuff. So in this case, I know the customer's name. So we'll type in the fake company up here. You fill in your filters, and then you can click on the search button up top here. I'll search for any sales orders with that criteria. It looks like this was the one I was working on earlier. So I can go ahead and double click on that and it'll open it right back up. And then the sales quote lookup is going to work the exact same way. It's going to have the exact same filters. You type in whatever you need to find, or you can leave everything blank if you want. And then you just hit the search button up top and it'll bring back everything. And then, all right, that concludes the quick reference guide there. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to us. I think we'll also be making a more advanced guide in the future to dictate every single button, every single option we'll give a description on. But until then, thank you guys for your time, and I'll talk to you later.